have to give a speech tomorrow, and I am excited to give my speech. But tonight, I am winding down. That's why you see the nice fluffy bonnet and my warm, cozy night robe. There are important steps to take the night before giving a speech that contributes to the confidence to give the speech the next day. And you and I will talk about those important steps. If you do not know who I am Dr. Shalanda Jones. I specialize in helping people learn to own their voice and step into their power to speak confidently with their audience. It has been my pleasure to help students, professionals, and people who want to give toasts at weddings learn to transform their concerns with public speaking into confidence to speak with their audience successfully. Speaking of confident public speaking, in our current conversation that you and I are having right now, you will learn the importance of making sure you have a great outfit picked out the night before your speech. You will also learn to make sure your presentation aids are in an easy to find location. And finally, you will learn my special wind down and relaxation technique that I use every time I get ready to give a speech the night before. Before we get into our conversation though, you look like somebody who has asked yourself, how can I become a more confident speaker? And I believe that's why you and I are having this current conversation right now. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button to my channel because I have these conversations on a weekly basis. And when you hit the subscribe button, you will receive an alert when new videos are released with tips on becoming a great confident speaker. Also, when this conversation that we're having now comes to an end, hit the like button so that we can share this information with more people. You and I are making an investment in ourselves. We are learning to empower ourselves so that we can feel more confident in our ability to accomplish our tasks. So let's go ahead and have this current conversation about the important steps to take the night before that will contribute to confidence to give a speech on the next day. Let's start by talking about the importance of picking your clothes the night before. The last thing you want to do the morning of your speech is wake up and scramble through shirts, dresses, pants, socks, whatever, trying to figure out which is the best for your presentation. Because when we wait until the day of the presentation to try to make a decision, we run the risk of becoming distressed or experiencing panic, and those emotions do nothing for our confidence when it's time for us to give our speech. So that's why the night before, we make a decision about the best outfit to wear for our presentation. Now, I'll share with you the outfit that I plan to wear tomorrow, the clothes that I plan to wear tomorrow for my presentation. My presentation is a little bit professional. We're talking about the power of focus when setting goals, particularly goals for becoming a successful speaker. So I've selected this, can't really see it, but it's a blazer and a blue dress. And I chose this gray blazer with this blue dress because number one, the dress is comfortable, but yet it has a nice little stylish edge to it. And the blazer adds a level of professionalism to the dress. Now, additionally, I like to dress in layers when it's time for my presentations, especially if I'm not familiar with the place where I will give my speech, because if it gets cool, I have my jacket, but if it becomes warm, I can take the jacket off and I'm still comfortable because the dress has a nice length sleeve. So consider layers. Layers will contribute to your ability to adjust your attire so that you feel comfortable during your presentation. And I'm really excited to wear these shoes tomorrow. I love heels. This is a comfortable height heel, and it's also a professional looking pump. So this is the shoe that I'm wearing tomorrow with my ensemble. which again, try on your shoes. Try on the socks with the shoes that you're going to wear. If you're wearing pantyhose, make sure that your pantyhose are comfortable in your shoes, because sometimes your feet can slide and you don't want that concern when it's time to give your speech. Your clothes will help to send a powerful message to you. Think about it. How many times have you said, I just want to relax. I'll put on a t-shirt and some sweats and relax. And your clothes are helping you to feel that way, comfortable and relaxed. Well, it's the same way with giving a speech. When you select clothes that feel comfortable, but also look nice and help you to feel good about yourself, you're sending a message to yourself that you are confident in your ability to give a great speech the next day. So that's the importance of selecting your ensemble. Make sure it's comfortable, but yet appropriate for your speaking occasion. Let's move on to talking about the importance of making sure your presentation aids are in a place where you can find them all. If you're giving a speech like the one I'm giving tomorrow and you have to have like maybe handouts or you need a flash drive, I'll tell you, I lose my flash drive all the time. But if you, the night before, make sure you have your handout, your flash drive, and since we're talking about the power of focus in my presentation, when I was working on a couple of degrees, my best friend bought this. I know you can't see my face, but you can hear me talking. My best friend bought this blanket for me after I got my degree, because I would always say, I can see myself keeping warm in a blanket with my degrees at night. So I'm going to share this during my presentation tomorrow. But I will make sure that the blanket and my flash drive are in my bag that my aunt gave me. I love this bag. Did you hear my flash drive fall? Hit the floor. Okay. So I'm going to have this bag. Everything will be in my bag, and my bag will be near the door tomorrow so that I do not have to look for them when it's time for me to give my presentation. Because again, the last thing I want to do is search around for a flash drive that hit the floor, that might be under the desk. That's the last thing I want to do in the morning. So make sure you have all of your presentation aids gathered. Personally, I like to work with a PowerPoint if I have to have a visual aid. And the only reason I prefer a PowerPoint if I have to have a visual aid is because, number one, I can save it on my flash drive, but I can also send an email to myself with the PowerPoint. So when I arrive to the venue, if there is internet connection, there's no way I do not have my PowerPoint. Second, if it so happens that for some reason the overhead projector is not working when it's time for my presentation, I can print the PowerPoint slides as handouts for the audience members. So that's something to consider when you're preparing your presentation aids for your speech, if you have to have a presentation aid. That's the presentation aids. Now let's talk about my favorite part. Let's now move on to my special relaxation technique the night before I give my speech. Understand that I am usually pretty excited to give a speech. And I'm usually pretty worked up because I'm excited. And being worked up because I'm excited is no better for me than if I were nervous or experiencing anxiety or panicking or experiencing distress. There has to be a balance. And for me, I have to calm down, which is why I'm going to show you. I start by using some type of aromatherapy for myself. So my best friend bought this aromatherapy, and believe me, it will put me to sleep. Okay. So I usually use my aromatherapy to help me relax, calm down, something nice for me. And this is the night before the speech because I need to be refreshed in the morning. And once I use my aromatherapy, I then take the time the night before to give thanks for this opportunity that I have to speak with the wonderful people who were kind enough to share their time with me during our conversation when I give the speech. So I'll usually say something like, I am so thankful for this opportunity to share what I know with the wonderful people who are kind enough to share their time with me during this presentation. I am thankful for the people who are learning new and useful information. I am thankful for the people who already know what I know, but are still kind enough to give me their attention during our presentation, during our conversation. And I'm also thankful for the people who are not ready to receive the information that I am sharing during our presentation, but maybe they'll share the information they got with somebody else, and that was their reason for being present during my presentation. All in all, I am so excited about this time, and I am thankful for this opportunity to give this speech. And once I say that gratitude, I feel confident because I get like this expectation of a positive outcome for my interaction with my audience. But now I have to lay down. So since I have aromatherapy and I've expressed gratitude for the opportunity to speak with people, I'm going to go lay down in a little bit. And when I lay down, as I'm drifting off to sleep, I take in a nice deep breath. And as I exhale slowly, I'm relaxing. I'm thinking of something positive. And I may even have some quiet, soft music playing in the background with no lyrics. Something slow, nice and mellow to help me relax. And again, I'm going to take another deep breath. And I'll slowly exhale because I am slowing down the thoughts in my mind. I am deliberately encouraging myself to relax. I am coming center. And after about 5 deep inhalations, 5 deep inhalations, and after I exhale for about the 5th time, maybe 6 times, I start to drift off to sleep. But as I'm drifting off to sleep, I can just see myself interacting in a positive way with the people who will be in my audience the next day. This technique is very helpful in helping me to relax and feeling refreshed the next morning when I get ready to give my presentation on the day of my presentation. So those are 3 basic things that you can do the night before your presentation to help you to feel confident the day of your presentation. So remember to pick a great ensemble, pick some great clothes that feel comfortable, that are stylish, but are appropriate for the speaking event. Whatever the speaking occasion is, make sure your attire is appropriate for the speaking occasion. If you're giving a speech like I'm giving tomorrow, where you have presentation aids, whether it be brochures that you're handing out or some type of PowerPoint, or you have some type of visual aid like the blanket that I showed you, make sure all of those things are in an easy to find location. I usually sit them by the door in my bag that I showed you that my aunt bought for me. And finally, do something kind for yourself before you drift off to sleep. Do something kind for yourself. Help yourself to relax. What I do is I use my aromatherapy. I give thanks for the opportunity to speak. I breathe deeply for about 5 or 6 times. And as I'm drifting off to sleep, I see myself having a favorable interaction with the people in my audience who were kind enough to share their time with me. These strategies can work for you too if you practice them. That's going to do it for our conversation today. But as always, be audacious. Have the nerve to do something today to help make your greatest ambition your greatest accomplishment. We'll talk soon.